Tom Tincher, and today I'm going to take you to a casual contemporary American restaurant that's new in Lake Bluff. You've probably heard about it, Inovasi. It's right here on the corner of Center and Scranton. The chef is waiting for us, Chef John Rosier, so let's go in and meet him. Won't you join me? Hi John, Tom Tincher, talk to you on the phone.
Hey Tom, great to see you. How are you?
You're looking quiet for a guy who's such a major entrepreneur in Lake Bluff.
It's early in the morning, so it's a nice quiet time for us.
Well, good. Why don't we sit down for a minute if you have time? I'd like
Absolutely.
to talk to you. One of the things that I wanted to know, and I think some of our viewers would like to know, is how you chose Lake Bluff and how your career brought you to this point.
I love the town. It's a great bunch of people. It's both affluent and comfortable and homey at the same time. I love being here. I live in this town. I moved here after we opened the restaurant. I like the people I see every day. The restaurant's, you know, it's filled with them. It's a great social place for me to be.
You know, this used to be a restaurant back in the old days. When we moved here, it was an antique shop, and now it's a restaurant again. Has anybody commented to you about that?
A couple of people have, yeah. I think it's kind of neat that we have a chance to kind of help restore some of the history of the town, and that's one of the reasons why the restaurant, you know, looks the way it does. We've got this incredible old building. We've got, you know, we kept some of the older school lights and things like that inside of it, and we want to, you know, remind ourselves that, you know, history is important, and the town's history is important.
The architectural style, I think we were talking about that earlier. Is this what we would call a prairie style?
I think elements of it are, yeah. You know, there are pieces of the restaurant that fit together that are from the 20s and 30s. We've also combined that with some more contemporary touches. We wanted to create a place that was contemporary in its general feel, but had a lot of warmth to it, and that's one of the reasons why some of the prairie elements are here. I also like the clean lines of it. I think that it's deliberate and focused, and even though it's you know, from the 30s and 20s, it's still modern. So that's an important thing for us.
And Inovasi means innovation.
Yeah,
and you're an innovative fellow. What are you doing to bring yourself closer to the communities? I know Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you have special things. Could you tell us about them?
We do. In our bar, we just started in the last couple weeks. We've got a different theme every night. Monday night is men's night because, you know, Monday night football. And Tuesday night we do a special menu with tall grass beef. We use their beef from Kansas. It's a completely sustainable, all natural, you know, free range grass fed beef, and so we do a special menu with those items. And then Wednesday's ladies night, where we do really cool cocktails, and those are all, you know, like half off, and a whole special menu of custom items we're only doing for women just for that night. So that's one of the ways. We also, you know, sponsor as many community events as we can. We give to as many community charities as we can, and you know, we want people to feel like, we want them to get the impression from us that we really love being here, because we do, and we're very excited to be in town.
I know you have special decorations for all the holidays, and right now we're looking at the Christmas holidays, although this might even be showing next year. So if the camera can pan around and take a look at the knives, forks, spoons, whisks, and dippers that you have up over the bar.
Yeah. You know,
who does that?
My best friend Bob Silton designed the restaurant for me, and he takes care of small things going forward for us. If the restaurant needs a helping hand, he comes in to help us out. If we need something to be redesigned or retweaked, or we need Christmas decorations, he takes care of that. And if we just hung garland and red bows everywhere, I think people would be a little disappointed. It's not very innovative. So we took the spoons and spatulas and dipped them all in glitter, and this is only about half of it. There's a lot more coming. So. Well,
what caused you to choose Inovasi as a name? Why did you think that was appropriate for your style of entertainment and refreshment? I
think that I have a general philosophy that I see things differently than other people do, and it's a way that the way that I understand things and the way that I see things is it's just not like, you know, the typical things. If it feels like it makes sense to me, then we just go with it, even if a traditionalist might look at it and say, well, I don't like that, or that doesn't make sense to me. If it makes sense in my head, that's kind of how we work with it, and it extends from the way we built our company to our wine list to our menu, where we get our food from, the actual style of the ingredients we put together. It's a holistic view of who we are and what we're trying to accomplish. And I think that I think that the North Shore needs something like this.
You know, you've offered several points that I could bring up and ask questions about. One of the things that I think makes you outstanding is your wait staff. Where do those folks come from?
They come from all over. Some of them live in Highland Park and Highwood, and some live in Waukegan. I know most of them personally. I've worked with them for years, and that's one of the really neat things about our restaurant. We've got 25 or 30 employees, and I've known 15 or 20 of them for a number of years. We have a really good sense of family and community inside the restaurant. We get along with each other. We spend time with each other outside the restaurant. We'll watch each other's kids and help each other move into apartments and stuff like that. Half of our staff is dating the other half of the staff, which I think that most people would look at and be kind of, that's not such a smart idea. But it works because we have smart, focused, intelligent people that really care about what they're doing here. So we really, we have a really good time with each other, and that shows through in how we try to take care of people and how we try to make people feel like family.
Well, you do have a good time, and I noticed it on your blog that you're out traveling, talking to your customers. When did that start?
We started writing the blog about a month ago, and it was a way for me to kind of I wanted to extend part of my personality and part of the things that I like and don't like about restaurants, and I wanted people to see it and read about it and get to know me a little bit. Also, I think that a lot of chefs write blogs and they're very restaurant oriented, and they talk about things that they're doing and our food and things like that. And mine is much more on a personal side, and it's like that on purpose. I want people to get beyond just that we buy fruit from this farm and this is how we cook it and that's it. I want them to get to know why I picked this person or why I have this relationship or why this different thing means something to me. I think that's a very important part that you don't get to see a lot of.
You're a good communicator. I know you have a Facebook, and I know that you're Twitter. You're texting people all the time.
All the time.
It's an interactive program, though. I see people answering you.
Absolutely.
What are they looking for when they ask questions? So what are they trying to find out?
Sometimes they want to find out where we got a particular product from. Sometimes it's just something as simple as, I want to make that at home. Where can I get that? Sometimes they want to find why we use a certain thing, or like the method that we go through in choosing a farm to buy from. Mm-hmm. There's so much information, and we try to be so interactive with everybody that any type of idea that pops into someone's head, any question they have, they'll just ask us.
Go take a look at the dining room.
Absolutely.
Okay, John, well, here it is. This is the dining room that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The dining area, is that what you call it?
We do. We just call it the dining room.
Yeah, nice setup. And let me see, looks like a menu here. We were talking about the menu earlier: casual, contemporary American, common sense, Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
What's the Teddy Roosevelt?
Teddy represents our common sense approach to sustainability. So that we do as much as we can to buy, first of all, to buy locally. We use a lot of local farms for our chickens and produce. We also, I just bought a flock of laying hens about 2 weeks ago because we couldn't get one farm to produce enough eggs for us the way we want them raised. So we bought 250 laying hens, and now we produce our own eggs.
Where do you keep them, in the garage?
We keep the hens out in Harvard. They're raised in an all organic, all natural, all vegetable feed. They're all free range. They're kept out in Harvard with one of our main farms we get most of our produce from.
You have a farm of your own?
We don't own it. It's we contract about a third of her space, and she also takes care of our chickens for us, and she raises other.
What kind of a farm is it? Grain, vegetable, cattle?
Everything. She has some cattle. We have poultry on it. She has vegetables, every type of vegetable you can imagine. So it's. The good thing is that the hens are producing so many eggs that we have a surplus. Okay. So we're going to start selling them next week at the Village Market. We talked to Rob and Sue Douglas, and they're going to start carrying our eggs. So, but that's just one of the small ways about how we do things a little bit differently.
You can trade them eggs for wine.
Absolutely, that's a good idea. I like that.
I see a picture of Teddy. Can we walk down here and take a look at that?
Yeah, it's my favorite one. It's my favorite one because he hated taking it. He was furious. He didn't want to take the picture. No, he didn't like it. So he, when they took the picture, he wasn't really in favor of it. In fact, he was pretty pissed off. He didn't, and you can tell in the picture he's got a big scowl on his face.
He is scowling, but he does look like the bear, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and he really just didn't want to take a picture with a bear.
There's an interesting picture on the wall. Speaking of pictures, Is that something you did in your spare time?
No, that's next year's project. This is done by an artist down in Chicago. His name is Rich Lowe. He's done this painting and a couple of paintings, and it's very contemporary and open and kind of free-flowing art. I love the style, and I like his types of things, and he uses different materials inside of the fabric. It's not just paint, so it's really, you know, it's a lot. It's fun.
See, this is a dinner menu that I have here. You've got a kids, vegetables, greens, meat, seafood. Want to point out something that you're particularly proud of here?
Yeah, I actually love the walleye pike. It's a local fish. We get it out of the Great Lakes, and it's served on canvas.
Canvas?
Yeah, it's
why?
It's the idea behind the dish is it's an homage to Jackson Pollock. And so you know, art is important to me, and that's why we have some really neat, fun art in the restaurant. When Jackson started painting, his first bunch of works were very confusing and very backwards, and it didn't look like himself. It was kind of because he worked with Picasso, and it looked like it was a mash of Picasso with some, you know, some bad attitude thrown in. And he was criticized roundly for it for the first, you know, good decade of his career. And then he had a moment when he locked himself in a room and he didn't leave for a month. And when he came out, he tried to find a way to purely express his subconscious and to really try to show what he was and who he was as a person and as a painter. And that's where he became famous for the style that he's known for now.
Are you an art historian?
No, but the similarity is that I went through the same thing when I started working at Bank Lane Bistro. We had a traditional French bistro menu. And I always felt conflicted that I thought that we could be doing more than that. And so one day we changed the whole menu style of the restaurant into the style of food that I cook now, using techniques from different cultures and using ingredients from different cultures. And that we share that moment, that similarity moment of our lives when we both saw what we were really supposed to be doing.
And all that brought the pike onto the
that brought the pike onto the canvas. So we take different sauces, and every time somebody orders one, I paint on the canvas with the different sauces.
You drizzle?
We drizzle and drip and splatter.
You don't drive your MG over it.
No, that'd be a neat way to do it, though. I like
but
that.
He did do that.
He did, yeah. Actually, maybe I'll get a small tire that we can do that with.
You can put it on a roller and get some kids.
It'd be perfect. I like that a lot. That's a great idea.
Casual, contemporary, and American. What response do you get from your customers?
It's been incredible. The community has been unbelievable. They've been so supportive. And I fully understand that what we're doing is outside of the box, and what we're trying, especially for our area and for us being up on the shore and in the suburbs, we are definitely trying to push what people expect. And one of our goals is to change what they expect. I think that that restaurants should be doing more than they are, that we should be better than we are. And so we are trying to do that by being innovative and just seeing things a little bit differently, and maybe using food and using different combinations in ways that people aren't expecting it, presenting it the way we present things. You know, we don't have entrees and appetizers on the menu. Everything is the same size. So it's very interchangeable. It's very meant for sharing and for a very communal type of table. All those little things that we do, and even our value. We spend an extraordinary amount of time sourcing the food that we use in the restaurant. We really get some incredible products. And to get our level of quality and still to keep it as affordable as we are is something that is very, very important to us.
Well, it's important to the viewers to be able to come up here. How can they find you?
They can go on the web. That's the easiest way, at inovasi.us. It's something else that's innovative. Our website, it's not a .com on purpose. The .us was important for us, one, because it's different, but also it's, you know, we're an American restaurant. And I am a huge patriot, so even on our business cards, the .us, the U.S. is always capital. So that's, you know, it's an important thing for us.
And you're here in Lake Bluff?
We're here in Lake Bluff.
At Center and
at 28,
Scranton.
Yep, at the corner of Center and Scranton, right in downtown, right across from the main park.
Right across from the gazebo?
From the gazebo, yeah. Right across from the gazebo. It's, you know, we have a great location, and we're in the middle of a great town, so.
So come on over to Inovasi, look for John, and I hope that you have a chance to meet him just as we have. I want to thank John for giving us the time.
I appreciate it, really. Thanks for coming in.
And know that things are going well. Look for a menu, go online, and thanks for watching. John Tincher back with you again, and now we're across the street doing our R&R at the Noodle Bar. I want you to come over with me now and meet Rich Bentsen. He's the proprietor, genial host, and a fellow that I think you're going to find very interesting. Let's talk to him.
Hello, Tom.
Rich, nice to see you. Or can I call you Rich? It's Richard.
Is perfect.
Richard Bentsen. Richard is the fellow that put this whole thing together, and I think he's going to give us some insight into why you ought to come over here and make this your noodle bar. So, Rich, why don't we sit down and talk about it?
Very good. How's that chair?
That suits me just fine. And I have the basic question, and that is, why a noodle bar and why Lake Bluff?
Well, I think one of the reasons Lake Bluff is because I live here and I have a family. And second, why a noodle bar? Noodle bar is not my original concept. It's something that I came across through some business travel and made the connection between the noodle bar concept and Lake Bluff and put those two together.
Where did you see the noodle bar concept in action?
The original noodle bar is in Greenwich Village, New York, and at the time I was introduced to the restaurant, I was commuting from Lake Bluff to New York to work, and was acquainted with some of the investors in the original noodle bar and became a patron, and then a fairly good acquaintance and friend of the primary operator and creator of Noodle Bar, and it evolved into casual and then serious discussions about doing another noodle bar in Chicago.
You were talking about the urban environment in New York, and you have a suburban situation here. There are probably similarities. What are the differences that make this unique here in Lake Bluff?
Well, demographically, we have mainly our base of customers being families with children.
Oh, I meant the menu.
Oh.
The menu. This is what we're going to talk about now. That's why people are coming here. I see them coming in and going out and having a good time. So
I haven't changed the menu. The core menu is the same menu.
Same as New York.
Yeah.
Greenwich Village.
Identical menu. And the leap of faith was thinking that the same menu would be attractive across a broad palette of consumers.
How did it work out here?
Oh, it's worked out fabulously, and we've made one minor adaptation. We do have a children's menu proper with some smaller dishes.
Shorter noodles?
Yeah, easier to handle. But for the main part, from the very young through the what I like to call young at heart or retired folks. Our demographic, I think, has really dovetailed with the community, the demographic we see, because we see a lot of empty nesters. We see office workers. We see in the early evenings we see a lot of families with children. And toward the later in the evenings and on weekends, we'll see a little more of the parents that have the babysitter for the night.
Let's talk about those weekends. You have some lively stuff going on here. Karaoke night, you have salsa night, you have several string groups that are here. How does that work out?
Well, the interesting thing about adapting this restaurant from New York is the New York restaurants have no lounges like we have here. In fact, the original Noodle Bar is 16 counter seats and 3 tables for 2. So I think as part of the adaptation of moving the cuisine to the suburbs, we wanted to add some of the, I guess call them creature comforts that we've gotten used to in a nice suburban setting, and those are things like a reception area, reservations, credit cards, a full-service lounge.
How often do you get guests in your party room, and how do you go about doing that?
Well, the party room evolved just from a design challenge of what to do with a space that was really behind the view of the open-air kitchen, behind the view of behind our cashier and toward the back door, and rather than having it a place where there was a couple tables that were kind of lonely by themselves, we kind of went with the concept of let's try to build a pagoda, raise up a platform, and have seating for 10 to 14 people, and it's been extremely popular. I'd say it's used 90% of our days and evenings.
Great.
So it's a very nice spot for groups of 8 adults, or
the women's
we've
club
had as
guys.
many as 14 teenagers sitting there, and
a retirement party from the base, I suppose. The women's club,
yeah,
social groups.
Yeah, and kids' birthday parties work out really well.
Where do you get the wait staff and the people, the chefs?
Well, there's definitely two different categories. Our wait staff is very local. Generally persons from Lake Bluff, Lake Forest, and surrounding communities. One of the logistical challenges with Noodle Bar Lake Bluff was my partner from New York was quite adamant that I hire Chinese chefs, and to put together a team, I went to Chinatown in Chicago, recruited chefs, and to make the logistics possible, bought a company car, which the chefs collectively use to come back and forth to work.
Have their own van.
Correct. The additional benefit of that is that here in Lake County, we can't source all the food we need on a daily basis through food distributors that will deliver to the doors. So, on a daily basis, our chefs are doing shopping at various Asian marts in the city, primarily in Chinatown, some in the north side, and so they're not only bringing themselves, they're bringing the ingredients for the cuisine.
What's in the future for Noodle Bar in Lake Bluff?
We are developing for the springtime a varied snack menu for the
spring roll,
afternoons.
so to speak?
Well, we have spring rolls, but maybe I would call it a little more dim sum oriented, where kids coming out of the grade schools and even the high schools can stop by after school.
Oh, the 3 o'clock snack.
For a nice snack.
Yeah.
We're developing a line of iced teas, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the drink bubble teas.
No.
But they're teas with tapioca infused in there.
Can they come over here for, was it the deep fried ice cream?
Absolutely.
I've had some of that here. I think
Absolutely.
That's very good. They ought to like that.
Absolutely.
Are you on Facebook?
I need to be. I'm not on yet. Communication for a business like this, particularly when we're trying to introduce and sustain various entertainment acts, events, is very critical for us.
Rich, we've been talking about menu and venue. We've done a good job on the venue, but what can you tell us about the menu?
Our menu contains over 60 items. It's divided into roughly 6 sections. We have our starters. We have 9 salads. And then our large entree sections are wok noodles, broth noodles, and fried rices. And then adding to that some of the sandwiches that I mentioned, like the Asia de Cuba, and then desserts. So it's quite an extensive menu. I'd say the heaviest focuses are on Thailand, Malaysia, and Hong Kong Chinese.
Is there something we can see in the other room?
Well, I think we should just walk through the kitchen. We're between lunch and dinner. All right, Tom, we're at the end of our lunch shift. So we've got two of our lovely servers.
Noodling
Hello.
it up. Hi.
And then our party booth also serves as our lunchroom for our chefs. And you can see our fine gentleman here enjoying lunch. I'd like to introduce you to our manager. This is Lisa Wu. We talked about performers and entertainment in the lounge, but the core entertainment here is the food, and our chefs prepare all of our dishes to order in our open viewing kitchen. All of our ingredients we prepare in our prep areas in the basement, then we bring them up to the refrigerated areas next to the counter, food counter, and then everything is to order, made in our noodle cookers, our woks, and our fryers. Follow me, Tom.
Go ahead.
So this is a chef's eye view of a Noodle Bar, and as you see, all of our ingredients which we prepare are here for the chefs, plus the refrigerated items, and
Eggs in the noodles or the sprouts?
We have three main ways of cooking. We have boiling, and these are noodle rinsers. We can cook 12 noodle portions simultaneously.
Wow.
We have 3 woks, deep fryers, a grill, and a range and oven. Yeah, the wonderful thing about the cuisine is our average time of dish preparation is faster than you can make a sandwich. These woks are very hot, and the chefs are very skilled, and since everything is already cut up, it's all about mixing it, heating it, spicing it, and getting it to your table as fast as possible.
Table service is very good here. We certainly didn't have to wait long, and we had 5 people at our table. It came right out, and it was just perfect.
Well, and it really lends itself well to takeout and delivery too. We've shocked a few people by coming to their door 25 minutes after they phoned the restaurant.
How far away will you go?
Presently, we're delivering to all of Lake Bluff, all of Lake Forest, into some of the eastern areas of Libertyville and Green Oaks, and then of course up through the Naval Base.
Go to Fort Sheridan. Or anybody living? Yeah, the Navy people are down there.
We have some folks, regular customers in Fort Sheridan.
Forestall Village up here. Rich, it looks like we're back in the bar here at the Latitude Lounge. What in fact goes on this happy little place?
Well, let me tell you a little about our cocktails and
Come on, sit down.
libations here.
Looks like a pretty adequate bar.
We're fortunate from a design perspective. This is the brick from the exterior of the Village Market.
The original brick.
Yeah, and as you know, this was exposed to the elements for decades. So it's as we built up to this wall, it's incorporated into the bar. So it really lends a nice feel. But besides the feel, what are we drinking here at Noodle Bar? We have a full-service bar. What we like to do is to try to work with wines that complement the food. We have a selection of Asian as well as American and European beers. What we really have fun though with are some of our specialty cocktails. What's really popular, we do things like sake mojitos and lychee fruit martinis. And during the summer months, we serve sake-infused slushies, Last fall we ran a mango sake slushy as we opened.
Yeah, does the staff help with this?
Well, we've had various bar professionals help us with design of menus and cocktails, and but it's a living project too. Every few days our bartenders will come up and say, "Rich, let's try this one," and we'll give it a whirl.
There are other things you might want to tell us about this room?
We've also got 2 widescreen televisions for sports and a built-in karaoke system and a great stereo sound. So come on in and have a wonderful evening.
Telephone address, email, website, do you have any of those?
We're at 20 East Scranton in Lake Bluff, next to the Village Market, just across the street from the Village Green. Our telephone number 847-735-8170. Call that number for reservations. You can see our menu on the web at www.noodlebarlakebluff.com or send me an email at rich@noodlebarlakebluff.com.
Thank you, Rich. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.